Chat personalization has been fairly limited to nicknames for almost a decade now. So recently I created BlendChat for use on my own SMP to give each player more control over how their names and chat appear in-game. BlendChat is easy to use and configure, and you can literally have it up and running in a few minutes. For this video, I'm going to start by going over command usage and then plugin configuration. The main command for this plugin is /BlendChat. You can also use /bchat or /bc. And if we type in /bc help, we'll see that there is a link to a hex color picker, a list of commands that I have access to, and an example command. The most useful command for changing your color gradient is /bc set, followed by a list of the colors that you want in your gradient. You can also specify a player at the beginning of the command if you have permission. You can see that right now my name and chat look normal, with my name being red since I'm opt on the server, but let's say I wanted to change my message to have a gradient from pink to white to blue. I could use the Minecraft color codes and do /bc set and D and F and B. And there we go, we get a nice little confirmation message, and you can see that my chat messages and my name and tab have both been changed to match the gradient. Now let's say I wanted to copy my gradient over to Steve. I would just do /bc copy from myself, Pibby, to Steve. And you can see that Steve's gradient was changed successfully. And if I wanted to copy Steve's gradient over to myself, I would just do /bc copy Steve. And finally, if you want to remove a gradient, it's as simple as doing /bc reset. And you can see that my gradient's gone. Now, what's really special about BlendChat is that you can also use hexadecimal colors when setting your gradient. So if I wanted a really specific color, I could use the hex color picker from the help command. So let's open that up, and let's pick an orange because I feel like the Minecraft color codes don't have a really good orange. And we'll just copy that and do /bc set, paste that in, and for the second color, let's do a purple to go with that orange. And you'll see that my gradient was changed successfully, and both the colors that I pick have now been applied to my chat and my tab name. When setting a gradient, you can also use an asterisk to denote a color you're already using. So if I wanted to keep the orange from earlier but change the purple to a light blue, I could do /bc set, do a star to denote the purple from earlier, and B. And boom, you can see that's kept the orange from earlier but changed the purple to blue. Finally, while it's not really a command, it's also worth mentioning that BlendChat is compatible with EssentialsX nicknames. So if I change my nickname to Worm, you'll see that it still gets used and colorized whenever I send a message. If you're enjoying this video, please leave a comment with your favorite color, in hexadecimal of course. Currently, I'm feeling partial toward more pale colors like #F794E2. Now, onto the config. BlendChat has a really simple configuration, but I thought I'd go through all the options with you just in case. The first parameter is the chat format. Since BlendChat overhauls a lot of chat functions, this lets you customize how chat messages will be displayed. By default, BlendChat uses the same format as Minecraft, with %p representing the player name and %m representing the message. Any parts of the chat message that don't get colorized will automatically use whatever color you specify as the default color. So, for instance, I could make it so the player name is surrounded by parentheses instead of these greater than and less than symbols, and I could also change the default color from a white to a gray, and if I save that, go back into Minecraft, reload the config, and I say hello, you will now see that in chat it's using parentheses and it's changed them to gray. Max colors is pretty self-explanatory, it's just the maximum amount of colors that you can use in a gradient, though this can be bypassed by a permission. By default, all players can use /bc set on themselves without needing permissions. However, if require perms is enabled, so if we change this to true, then players will need permission to change their own gradient. Finally, we have the colorize section. This allows you to change which text features will use the player gradients. The chat section is divided into username, message, and other, which covers other characters that are used in the formatting, like the parentheses up here. Tab list, join messages, and leave messages are all pretty self-explanatory. As an example, I could make it so only the message part of the chat gets colorized. So just turn off username here, and then we'll turn on join and leave messages, and we will turn off the tab list. So if I save that here, if I go in, you'll see everything is still the same, but if I do /bc reload, you will see that now only the chat section is being colorized, and it now goes back to the red because I am opt, and you'll see that this is not colorized either. And that's all. You are now 100% qualified to start using BlendChat. This is my first plugin, so if you notice any issues or have any recommendations, please let me know in the comments and I will do my best to implement those changes. That's all. Farewell.